(2011-2012) was an historic year for BYU athletics as the Cougars charted a new path to the future. Conference realignment affected 17 of BYU's 19 sports, with most of them embarking on the school's maiden voyage in the West Coast Conference. So here's a look back at the 2011-2012 BYU athletics year in review. BYU teams won 5 conference championships and 4 Cougars earned Conference Player of the Year awards. 21 BYU athletes also earned a combined 29 All-American citations. The men's and women's cross-country teams launched BYU into the WCC in victorious fashion. Miles Batty was crowned West Coast Conference champion as the Cougars ended Portland's 32-year run as conference champs. Ed Eyestone was named WCC Coach of the Year. Batty led BYU to a 4th place finish at the NCAA championships, the team's second-best finish in school history. Batty finished 14th and joined teammate Rex Shields as an All-American. Morgan Haas won the WCC women's title, leading BYU to a 2nd place finish at the conference championships. The Cougars finished 28th at the NCAA championships, again led by Haas, whose 14th place finish earned her All-American honors. The women's soccer team finished 4th in its inaugural season in the ultra-competitive WCC, missing the NCAA tournament for just the 2nd time in the last 15 years. The senior class left as one of the winningest in BYU history, and junior Lindsay Lisenby was named a 3rd-team All-American. The women's volleyball team finished 3rd in the conference and had its first 20-win season since 2007. Volleyball and basketball two-sport standout Jennifer Hampson was an honorable mention All-American. In its first season competing as a football independent, BYU won 10 games for the 5th time in 6 years and earned a bid to its 8th consecutive bowl game, winning its 3rd straight in thrilling fashion.
He'll fake the clock, throw to the end zone, touchdown! Cody Hoffman with 11 seconds remaining. His 3rd touchdown grab of the afternoon, and BYU has the lead.
Both the men's and women's swimming and diving teams captured Mountain Pacific Sports Federation titles, sending head coach Tim Powers out on top. Powers retired after 37 years, and elder and sister Powers will now serve a mission for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in London, England. Brandon Watson and Haley Campbell represented their respective squads at the NCAA championships, with Watson earning 2nd-team All-America honors. The men's basketball team finished 3rd in the WCC with its 6th straight 25-win season and 6th straight NCAA tournament appearance, both school records. BYU overcame a 25-point deficit against Iona in the opening round to complete the biggest comeback in the history of the NCAA tournament. The women's basketball team finished 2nd in the regular season but upset Gonzaga to win the WCC tournament title and earn a berth to the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2007. Senior Kristen Riley was named West Coast Conference Player of the Year and an honorable mention All-American. And head coach Jeff Judkins became the winningest coach in BYU women's basketball history. Hampered by season-ending injuries, the gymnastics team failed to qualify for the NCAA regionals for just the 3rd time in Brad Cattermole's 24 years as head coach. The men's volleyball team entered the season armed with the #1 ranking, but again narrowly missed making the 4-team NCAA tournament field. The Cougars finished ranked 4th in the nation, and Taylor Sander and Futi Tavana were named 1st-team All-Americans. The men's golf team finished 3rd in the WCC, led by Zach Blair and Justin Kelly, who competed in the NCAA regionals. Maggie Wan represented the women's team at regionals, following her 3rd place finish at the WCC championships. The men's and women's tennis teams finished 4th and 6th respectively in their first seasons, competing in the West Coast Conference. The softball team won 40 games for the 8th straight year and earned a bid to its 8th straight NCAA tournament after winning the WAC tournament title, the team's 4th consecutive conference crown. Senior Delaney Willard was named WAC Player of the Year and set a conference record with 88 RBIs, 2nd most in the NCAA this season. Willard and teammate J.C. Clayton were named All-Americans. The baseball team finished 7th in the WCC and bid farewell to head coach Vance Law, who exits after 13 seasons as the team's skipper. Both men's and women's track and field teams finished in the top 15 at the NCAA Indoor Championships and the top 30 at the Outdoor NCAA Championships, earning a combined 18 All-American citations, led by Nichelle Mackey's indoor and outdoor 800-meter national titles. Miles Batty also set the indoor collegiate mile record at the Millrose Games and finished second in the 1,500 meters at the NCAA Outdoor Championships by just 1/100th of a second. In its first year competing in the West Coast Conference, BYU finished second in the Commissioner's Cup, behind San Diego, which won its 5th consecutive cup. BYU also captured its 3rd consecutive Deseret First Dual title over the rival Utah Utes, winning 8 of the 11 contested sports. BYU has now won 4 of the 5 Deseret First Dual titles. 2011-2012 was also an unprecedented one for BYU TV. Beginning with the inaugural BYU Football Media Day held at the BYU Broadcasting Building in July 2011, BYUtv Sports produced 123 live sporting events and 71 studio shows, including live countdown to kickoff and Cougar postgame shows for every BYU football game. And so we put a bow on the 2011-2012 season and look ahead to the future, to what should be another memorable year for BYU sports. We'll kick it off, literally, with BYU Football Media Day right here on June 27th. From the BYU Broadcasting World Headquarters in Provo, Utah, Robbie Bullough, BYUtv Sports.